So Electra, I ended up buying. Yeah, at the time I was trying to expand. We got Spectacular Spider-Man. Ooh, $2.99. I'll have to look into that one. I believe Punisher's at the end of that one. You can kind of see I got, you know, various different. I'll have to get that one to a board. So I did at one time try to get into Spider-Man. I think it was around the time that the Clone Saga was going on, and I really liked the and I really liked the idea of Ben Reilly. That really interested me. But by the time I got into it, because you know, when I was younger, I couldn't afford to buy more comics than what I was. The X-Men were there's a bunch of them. You know, back in the '90s, you had X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, X-Force, X-Factor, the Wolverine, Excalibur. And yeah, it kept going. You had X-Men Unlimited. So I'm trying to make sure I put these in order, but sometimes I can't always find the issue number. So March and September. So those, I'm not sure. Here we got the Avengers, which I don't remember why I bought this, but I think I was trying to get into Avengers, but it just was not working. Yeah, you can see I got a handful of the issues. Or maybe I got them free and a thing. Avengers Forever, I bought after I bought X-Men Forever. Limited series, about in the future, I believe. Incredible Hulk. This was done because of, I was buying the Heroes Reborn ones. And the Hulk, Bruce Banner went into the Heroes Reborn universe, but the Hulk stayed and they were able to contact them. Alright, then what else we got in here? Alright. Oh, more Electra. So you can go there, and I'll figure out where to go with you. And then you got Electra 8. So we'll go upside down. Yeah, we got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I remember the Marvel Knights. They tried to go darker and grittier, and I was a young adult at the time, probably. I'd have to look at the year. Kind of hard to remember. Brian Michael Bendis, too. He did some good work, I believe, on Ultimate Spider-Man. But yeah, I've got some other Marvel Knights one, too, so those are probably saved to go into Marvel Knights. But Electra at the time, she had spent some time in Wolverine's issues. You can kind of see, too, there, that, so, of course, they always try to do that cross-promotion to get people to buy from them. And I don't know about Deadpool. When the hell did I buy Deadpool? I mean, he's great now, but way back in the, you know, because of Ryan Reynolds and everything, but way back in the day, it was just weird. Funeral for a Freak. So if we go through these, 66, 65, 66, 67. Yeah, see, Max was also supposed to be darker and grittier. So there's some Blade. And there's another Deadpool, 68. Another Punisher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, I'm going to keep the Marvel Knights together. I wonder if this was only a 12-issue series, and that's why I got them all. So Marvel Knights can go... They're not staying in that box just until I find a place to go with them. And let's see what else is here. Oh, more Deadpool. So I got a Deadpool 1. January of 97. Yeah, so I wasn't even graduated from high school yet. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, what are these? A different Deadpool series. So, yeah. 55, 56. Deadpool, Agent of Weapon X. Yeah, so I'm going to have to dig into those more. Like I said, I wasn't a huge Deadpool fan back in the 90s. He was just a guy that talked a lot of crap and showed up every once in a while. Okay, Funeral for a Freak. 1, 2, 63. And then 69, of course, I ended with Deadpool on issue 69. Alright, so we got Funeral for a Freak, issue 4 there. I wonder if that was a 4-issue limited series. Then we got this Deadpool Weapon X, 4-issue limited series. Yep. And then we got this Deadpool 69. Yeah, so I wonder if I've got more and I just am missing 9 issues. So these, I'm going to go ahead and put like this because I don't know what to do with these yet. So we'll go Deadpool. Well, we'll do the limited series first. Alright, and then Electra. Nope, we'll keep you separate. And then we'll go the oddball thing. And Punisher and Electra. 10 and 12 issues. Maybe we'll put you at the bottom here. We're going to separate those. Well, no, we'll go. Blade can go with the other. Well, the Marvel Knights, because that's darker until I find other ones. So then the Deadpool. And then we got some Spiderman. Incredible Hulk. Heroes Reborn half. So these I'm going to all put together. I should board these too. I did buy bags and boards. I don't know why some don't have boards or not. So you're going to go over there. And you need a label. Alright, so those are my X-Men issues. I'm going to go ahead, pause, take a break, and then I'll come back with a couple new boxes and see what we go through then. Alright? Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, angling. Sorry, it's like a shot between my legs. I know that's weird. I'm doing the best I can with this GoPro. Maybe if I move it up a little bit. Alright, so X Factor. Flashback. -1. So that's from whenever. So this one, X Factor, the original X-Men, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Iceman, Beast, and Angel. They had left the Uncanny X-Men a while ago, but eventually they were brought back. And this one I bought myself because I had liked X Factor. And we'll go with what I got. Issue. That's an annual. You can see a 64-page annual. Alright, so after 1, we got 13. 14. 15. This is where he lost his wings in the Mutant Massacre. Or coming up to the fall of the mutants. Yeah. See, there he is. He was changed. 26. 27. 28. So what they did is after Jean Grey was found in a cocoon by the Fantastic Four or the Avengers. Anyways, they had found her, and Cyclops at the time was married to Madeline Pryor, yeah. She ended up being a clone by Sinister because, you know, Sinister was hard up on the Summers brothers. Then we'll talk about why as we go through these. But going through the X Factors, you got 30, 31. Yeah. So you definitely need to get some boards. I should have done that before I started going through all these. 34. Yeah, I didn't think I had so many old X Factor issues. And even doubles of some. I wonder how that happened. Because these I would have had to buy special. I would have had to order them out of a back issue retailer. There used to be a lot of them in comic books. I'm not sure if they are any now. And then, of course, there's always grab bags that I would get or what I would pick up here and there. But how did I end up with so many doubles of X Factor? See? Like, there's another one. There's going to be another 45. There is. How the heck did that happen? 46. Maybe I bought some lots at some time and they were just all in there. And 47, 48. No more doubles there in that little line. But that's, you know, I've thought too about going through these and taking out all the doubles. But then I'd have to figure out, do I want to take out all the variant issues, you know, that have different covers? And I thought about going through and making a list of what I all have. I started at one time, decades ago. So, oh, there is a double. Yeah, see, why? Anybody want to buy some old X Factor issues? I got doubles. Archangel was a cool character too. Angel was kind of plain after a while. He just had wings. So then they went and gave him issues. B&S Cards and Comics. I wonder where that came from. Okay, so the Extinction Agenda, no, Mirror Island epilogue, but the Extinction Agenda had ended up or started around here somewhere where Professor Xavier came back from outer space, I think, and the original X-Men, the original X Factor, went back to join the X-Men, and then they filled up the X Factor with Havoc, who was Cyclops' brother, Polaris, who's a Magnetis mutant too, just like Magneto. Alright. Yeah, so you see Mr. Sinister still always had a thing up for Havoc, because he was a Summers brother, but not, you know. Extinction Agenda really does a good job at the whole summer stuff with Sinister and Strife and Apocalypse. Very cool reading. And like I said, even this, it's just weird. I mean, yeah, see, I need to get some bags and boards. Yeah, Executioner Saga. I got a trade paperback. I got a box over there marked trade paperbacks. I did go through a couple of these boxes, and then my son and my daughter both said maybe if I film it, it can go on my YouTube channel since I'm struggling to put out content. So I thought maybe grabbing my son's GoPro and being able to go through them would at least give me a point to going through them. Yeah, definitely bags and boards. But the Executioner Saga was really cool. I loved Apocalypse. Yeah. 88, 89, 90, 91. Then we got, Fatal Attractions. That was the kickoff where Magneto kind of did his whole thing with Asteroid M or Avalon, whatever you're calling it at the time, and attacked like almost every book that was out. I think there were 6 of them at the time. But you can see 95, 96, and somewhere in here, Multiple Man dies. Well, one of them. And it was always thought at the time that Multiple Man, yep, there we go. He died, but it turned out that when he made copies, he didn't make copies, they were all him. So 2 survived and went on to live their lives, but they were so disconnected because a part of them was gone. I believe that one of these 2, and this one was, oh yeah, probably Polaris, had the Malice brooch on it, which allowed a character to, or yeah, Malice, a villain, to take over Polaris's mind. They were always having issues. Okay, Phalanx Covenant was also a 6-issue, maybe, I don't know how many, I think it was just 1 apiece, and it led into Generation X. Yeah, you can kind of see Newsstand Edition, Prismatic Cover Edition. 107, 108. Oh, and Legion Quest. There's Mystique. Yeah, that's when David Haller was Professor Xavier's son with Gabrielle Haller, a psychiatrist or something from Muir Island or over there. No, Muir Island was, God, what was her name? Moira McTaggart. She was Muir Island. So the Gabrielle Haller was a different lady from Professor Xavier's past. They had a son, David Haller, who went by a couple different names because he had a split personality. Each personality had its own power. But Legion eventually was able to, and that's why it was called Legion, because we are Legion. He eventually was able to pull everything together, got time travel powers, and went back in time and killed his daddy. Well, he was trying to kill Magneto because he blamed Magneto for all the issues in his life. Because if he wouldn't have been fighting his dad, Professor Xavier, he could have raised him better. And when he tried to kill Magneto in the past to free up his father to raise him better, Professor Xavier, jumped in front of him. So Legion killed his dad, and then he became Vanishing. All very good story that led into Age of Apocalypse, which was awesome. Yeah, see, still more doubles. Now, the doubles I got here that you're seeing these later ones that I really remember are because I used to get them from the newsstand, a comic book shop, but I was also pre-ordering them. So I always ended up with some that I just didn't want to wait for. Okay, so that's X Factor. What else we got in here? Let's scooch you over. Alright. Then we got... Oh, see, these are the ones I can't see. 114. So that should be going on to 113. Yes. Oh, September, October. Destiny. Yeah, see, doubles. Oh, they brought back Wild Side. Wild Side was from Alpha Flight, I think. Yeah. See, eventually, Havoc would turn bad in X Factor. Bad. But he was really undercover, and him and Polaris were fighting at the time, and then somewhere in here, if we get to it, he blows up, and he goes on to the Mutant X universe. 120. Yeah, some of the later X Factor, because I really liked Havoc and Polaris. And it was neat because when X Factor started with the original X-Men, they were masquerading as a mutant extermination group to get calls, and then they would go save the mutant. But 129, is that at 6? Yep. Oh, and there's Good Beast and Dark Beast, or maybe it's Good Beast and Dark Beast. Yeah. And then when Havoc took over, they ended up being a government-sanctioned mutant group that was just on the government's payroll, went where they wanted them to, stuff like that. And I'm looking at 130, 128, so where's 120? Oh no, 120. Nope, that is 129. Oh, thank goodness. Because I was a little afraid I was going to be missing one. Because I shouldn't be missing any. I did notice that, sometimes these books are in here backwards, and the bags, you haven't seen that yet, but when I was going through them a few weeks ago, reorganizing a handful of them, you kind of see right there, Wolverine series, box 1, I went through that one already. There's a couple other ones, T-Cat trades, but yeah, we'll go through them. If you're interested, you don't have to watch if you're not. I needed to do this because I do have... Yeah, I got to get it organized. And I've been meaning to go through it. Looking at stuff from, nostalgia. Bait, basically. What was it like way back when? Oh, Shard came back, I believe, as a holographic projection. Shard was Bishop's sister from the Xavier Security Enforcers. These are the XUE. But yeah, she came back in X-Factor later on when Forge fixed a holographic projector that had her mind in it. See, Havoc ended up working with Dark Beast from Age of Apocalypse. He had done the Brotherhood, not the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. That was always Mystique's thing, but he just called it the Brotherhood. Well, Mystique and this is where we know Ultimate Man came back, because there's a couple of them. Shards of Hate, Polaris came back, and then they never made it to issue 150. Havoc got blown up, and he ended up, his mind ended up going to a different universe where he was married to Madeline Pryor. Alright, so we got those for X Factor, and then I got these X Factor Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, Book 4. I don't remember what these were from, but we got them, so we're going to put them away. Alright, so I'm going to stock these, and I'm going to label this box, and then we'll move on to another box. I don't know what the next box will be, but hopefully it'll be fun. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see you in like a week as I get through more boxes of comics. Because eventually, I have to go through boxes of comics that came from an attic. I have no idea what's in there. With these, the ones that are mine, I have an idea and I'm putting them back together. But I'm really excited to go back through ones where I have no idea what's in there. Alright. Anyways, I'm going to take a little break and talk to you guys later. Take care. Keep safe.